So you've got an EMDR session coming up. Whether it's your first or you've been at it for a while, there's some things that you should be doing to prepare for EMDR. Let's dive in. Step number one, you should learn as much as you can about EMDR. The more you know about it, the more you're going to have an understanding of how it works and what the actual experience is going to be like in session. This means you can spend less time asking questions with your therapist and more time just receiving the EMDR and actually going through the treatment. Great resource for this is, guess what? YouTube. We've got a number of videos about EMDR on this channel. You can also just Google EMDR and see what you find, read some of the articles, watch some of the videos that pop up. Just try to inform yourself as much as you can before going into EMDR. This is going to give you a major head start in treatment. Number two, practice your grounding techniques ahead of time. Usually an EMDR therapist is going to do some of this prep work with you. So before you do your first EMDR session, they're going to work with you on grounding techniques. It could be like a safe space exercise where you imagine a safe space or a container, something like that. Maybe you imagine kind of safe people or a safe place, like a real place that you go to or have been to, etc. There's lots of different ways to do this, but the reality is there is a part of EMDR that is exposure therapy, right? It's exposing you to your traumatic memories. So naturally it can be a little triggering, right? It can get you feeling a little bit off, right? A little kind of more in your trauma, in your feelings, etc. And so you just want to know that that's part of the process, but there's some things you can do in session and after session to make sure that you can get as grounded as possible. Number three, anticipate your needs for the day of the session. Right, I just mentioned how EMDR can be kind of triggering. You can feel some flooding, some more emotions. Later that night or that week, you can have more dreams about your trauma or even nightmares. This is all a normal part of the process, right? Your brain is kind of getting the gears turning again, and your brain is trying to fully process the difficult memories. Therefore, your nervous system is going to be more stimulated during this time. So you want to make sure that you have time and space for EMDR during that day. Right? So ideally you schedule it maybe let's say at the end of your work day so you don't have to go to work afterward or have any big obligations or responsibilities after your EMDR session. I think a great plan for after your EMDR session is to get some exercise. If you like running, plan to go for a run right after EMDR. Maybe take a run from your therapist's office. It's going to really help you ground yourself. It's going to help discharge some of that extra energy from your nervous system. Maybe you plan to call a friend and just tell a friend, hey, I'm going to be doing this trauma treatment later today. Can I call you around 5 afterwards just to chat and connect, or even get dinner this evening so that you have that contact point and that social support. Speaking of which, that's number 4, notify your support system. Let them know in general that, hey, starting in December, I'm going to be doing this thing called EMDR. It's a trauma treatment. It's a brain therapy, right? It might mean that I'm re-experiencing some of those difficult feelings and memories. It might mean I'm reaching out more, or I need you to come over, or I need you to just hang out and watch a movie with me. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that the people close to you in your life are aware that you're going through what can be a really intense process. Maybe you end up not needing the support, but hey, it's better to have notified them anyway. And again, this is not to scare you away from EMDR. It's an extremely powerful treatment, and that's why I'm giving you this warning or this advice, right? I just want you to know that you can re-experience some negative feelings through EMDR. 100% for most people, it is still worth it, and it is still a really powerful, top-notch approach to treating trauma and dealing with it once and for all. Okay, step number 5 in preparing for EMDR is have faith. Right? This one might be a little surprising to you, but whether that's a religious faith or just a faith and a trust that, hey, everything's going to work out as it should, this kind of mentality or belief can really help you going into it. That, hey, this might be difficult. Hey, it might be more difficult than I thought. It might be less difficult than I thought. I'm trusting my therapist. I'm trusting my support system. I'm trusting that I'm going through all this for a reason, perhaps, and I'm going to come out a better person for it. Right? Stay committed to the process, trust the people that are there to support you, and again, try to find some faith, whether that's religious or otherwise. This is going to help you a lot in your treatment. I hope this was helpful. What have you done to prepare for your EMDR sessions? What's your experience been like for EMDR? Anything that I missed on this list that you would like to recommend for other people preparing for EMDR? Let me know all that and more in the comments below. Again, I'm John Clarke. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm an anxiety and trauma specialist, and I really appreciate you being here. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.